The case is continuing at Fulchester Crown Court, in which Councillor Edward Bolton, a town councillor, former mayor and secretary of the Fulchester Trades and Labour Council, faces a charge of indecent assault. It is alleged that he assaulted his 18-year-old secretary, Gillian Hayes, at the Trades and Labour Council offices. Evidence that she witnessed the assault has already been given by another member of Councillor Bolton's office staff, Barbara Foster, who is also 18. It is expected that Gillian Hayes will begin her evidence this afternoon. Councillor Bolton pleads not guilty. His wife has been in the packed public seats all morning watching the proceedings.
Now try to speak up, please. It's the jury who have to hear you.
What is your full name?
Gillian Hayes.
And where do you live?
18 Shakespeare Avenue, Fulchester.
No, you'll really have to do better, Miss Hayes.
How old are you, Miss Hayes?
18.
Yeah.
Until July the 14th this year, did you work at the Fulchester Trades and Labour Council offices?
Yes.
In what capacity?
Secretary.
Secretary to whom?
Councillor Bolton.
Did he actually engage you?
Yes.
What was your salary?
Well, I started at £12 a week and got a rise after 6 months.
How much of a rise?
£2.
Well, that was very nice. Did you expect it?
No, it was a surprise.
Who gave you this rise?
Councillor Bolton.
Councillor Bolton. Tell me, Miss Hayes, was this your first job?
Yes.
At 18?
I've been at Technical College.
Oh, I see. Do you like your work?
Yes.
You liked being a secretary?
Yes.
And you were well paid?
Yes.
Were there any snags to the job? I asked you, Miss Hayes, were there any snags to the job?
Councillor Bolton.
Speak up.
If I can't hear you, the jury certainly can't.
Councillor Bolton.
That's better.
Was a snag?
Yes.
Why?
The way he acted.
How did he act?
Familiar.
In what way was he familiar?
He kept touching me.
Where?
Anywhere.
No, please ask your witness to be more specific, Miss Tate. I know she's probably embarrassed, but we do seem to be in a cul-de-sac.
Where did the defendant touch you, Miss Hayes? Exactly where?
He used to put his hand on my shoulder and round my waist. And once or twice on my bottom.
Where?
Do speak up, please, Miss Hayes. You're only prolonging your own discomfort, you know.
Can you repeat what you just said, Miss Hayes? Please, Miss Hayes, this is a court of law. We're all people of the world. Could I lead her, Your Honour?
No, Miss Tate, certainly not. She's your own witness. Now, listen to me, Miss Hayes. You've told us that the accused touched your shoulder and your waist, and you've mentioned a third place. Now tell me, what was that third place?
My bottom.
Thank you, Miss Hayes.
What did he touch you with?
His hand.
When?
Mostly when I had to pass him.
In the office?
And outside in the corridor.
How often did he do this?
A lot.
Did you like him doing these things?
No, I didn't.
Did it upset you?
Yes.
Did it, in fact, make you miserable?
Yes.
Did you ever try to stop him?
No.
Why not?
Well, I didn't see how I could without...
Without what, Miss Hayes?
Without having to give up my job.
And apart from these unwelcomed attentions, you liked your job?
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you about the afternoon of July the 14th. Do you remember that afternoon?
Yes.
Where were you?
Councillor Bolton's office.
And what were you doing there?
I was taking dictation.
From the defendant?
Yes.
How were you taking it?
With a pencil.
Literal questions beg literal answers, Miss Tate.
Indeed, Your Honour. What I meant, Miss Hayes, was were you standing or sitting?
Sitting.
Ah, yes, that chair. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. Now, where was the chair in relation to the defendant?
It's at the side of his desk.
And was the defendant sitting at his desk?
At the beginning he was.
And did he move at some stage?
Yes.
Where did he move?
He got up and stood behind me.
Right, Miss Hayes. Now, you're sitting on that chair taking dictation. The defendant is standing behind you. Then what happened?
I suddenly felt him blowing down my back.
Blowing? How, Miss Hayes?
With his mouth, I suppose. I couldn't see him.
How near do you think he was?
Oh, really, Your Honour? My learned friend is asking the witness to speculate.
I was going to ask if the blowing felt warm or heavy or soft or what.
I think that's reasonable, Mr. Dealey. Though I doubt if it's a definite indication of how far away the defendant was. More a question of the strength of his puff, I should have thought.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Was the blowing heavy, light, or what?
Light. It tickled.
And what did you do?
Nothing.
You just put up with it?
Yes.
Did the blowing continue or did it stop?
Stopped.
Then what?
Councillor Bolton said, I bet that tickled.
And did you reply?
No.
Then what?
He said, never mind, I'll scratch your back for you.
And what were you wearing? Oh, please, Miss Hayes, it's very important.
A blouse.
That blouse?
Yes.
Exhibit 1, Your Honour. Anything else, Miss Hayes?
A bra.
She said a bra, Your Honour.
Did you, Miss Hayes?
The defendant now has his hand down your back, Miss Hayes. What did he do then?
He tried to undo my bra.
Did he do anything else?
He rubbed my shoulder.
Did he touch you anywhere else? Now, I know this is particularly upsetting for you, Miss Hayes, but you really must try and tell us.
I don't want to say.
Please.
As I've already told you, Miss Hayes, the longer you take to give your evidence, the longer your ordeal.
To expedite matters, Your Honour, and to spare the witness, I have no objections to my learned friend leading, within reason.
Thank you, Mr. Dealey. That would assist the court. And the witness.
Did he touch you anywhere else, Miss Hayes?
Yes.
Where? Your breast?
Yes.
Now, take out your handkerchief and try to compose yourself, Miss Hayes. A handkerchief is a great comfort. I may say you're doing very well. Very well indeed. I think we might try to continue now, Miss Tate.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Not much longer now, Miss Hayes. What did you do when the defendant touched your breast?
I tried to get away.
How?
Wriggle away.
You didn't accidentally overbalance and fall on the floor, did you?
No.
I think it might assist the court if Miss Hayes demonstrated how she reacted rather than told us.
If you think she's up to it, Miss Tate.
Well, we can but try, Your Honour. I wonder if you'd step down, Miss Hayes, and sit on the typist chair there.
Do I have to?
And I rather think it might be easier for you than answering a lot more questions. Right, Miss Hayes. Now, assume the situation is as it was on July the 14th in the afternoon. You are on the chair, the defendant is behind you, and his hand is down your back. Now, will you show the court just what you did? Thank you, Miss Hayes. That was excellent. Really excellent.